When you take a good amount of time off, like, you just kind of want to do something else, you know, something different, just to mix it up. Because then when we all come back to this, we're like, you know, we're into it again.
Most people that do side bands, I've noticed they do side bands and they sound just like the band that they're in. Everything that these guys are doing, like of their own, is a little different.
I love playing music, and I don't really want to just limit myself.
He's probably the one that likes the most versatile in the band as far as music goes. I mean, he likes all kinds of stuff.
Everything that I write, I can't necessarily use in Cannibal Corpse. So I'll just put it in the appropriate category of what it sounds like.
Rob's got a bunch of stuff going on.
Eulogy is one of the bands that started here in Tampa, like in the early 90s.
Rob and I have been friends for a long time, and he, you know, said he was interested in doing it, and I couldn't be happier.
We got Tony Laredo playing drums and Mike Pagoni on bass, so it's a phenomenal lineup. It's going to be brutal. The music's so good, you know, it's heavy.
I haven't actually recorded with Eulogy yet, but I just started rehearsing with them, and we're going to hopefully record soon.
He asked me, he says, well, dude, do I need to audition? I was like, are you kidding, dude? I know what you can do. You're kidding me, right?
The guys whose albums I buy and listen to, and then I get to jam with them, which is fantastic.
He'll jam with the Malevolent guys, you know, like he was in Malevolent for a couple albums here, a couple of albums there. You know, he's been with them on and off. Those guys also have Hate Plow.
That was me and Phil from Malevolent, and this guy Larry that passed away about 10 years ago. We did one album called Everybody Dies, ironically. And then the second album was called The Only Law is Survival with Dave Colross.
The last I heard, and I don't know how far this has gone, but I think he was going to try and make a hardcore type of a band, like more of you know, along the lines of like Agnostic Front or I'm Sick of It All or something like that, with some friends down here in Florida. Rob's always been a really big hardcore fan.
Yeah, I have a hardcore project with J.C. Dwyer from Propane and John Buskey from Terrors playing bass. And there's not a confirmed singer yet, but it possibly will be somebody in a prominent New York hardcore band. I just can't confirm it right now.
George is in Paths of Possession, and he sings for them. I think he writes some lyrics for them too. He's probably written more lyrics for them than he has for us, actually.
Paths has been around since about '99, and George joined, I think, in '02. So we did a release before him where I was doing the vocals on that.
They were doing a split CD with a band named Dark Faith, and Randy's like, hey, you want to sing on this? I said, yeah, sure.
Then we got signed with Metal Blade and we did the Promises album. Then our new album just came out at the end of the hour.
I sing differently with pop than I do with Cannibal. The lyrics are obviously different, the music is way different. The vocals are the closest thing to Cannibal because it's me, and some of the vocals are similar to what I do. I think I sing higher in a lot of places than I do with Cannibal Corpse, you know, the higher, you know, screamier type stuff.
It's like really old school death metal kind of style. Like if you took Metallica mixed in with like sometimes a Obituary style, but they got their own vibe really going on.
George is quite a character, you know, he's a great guy. We've been friends for a long time before we started jamming together, so working with George, me and him, we're either working easily or we're at each other's throats, you know.
Alex just did bass for the last Hate Eternal album, but he's not going to be touring with them.
If you're already in one band that is like a real practicing band like Cannibal Corpse, it's very difficult to be in two. That's why I didn't end up going out to tour with Hate Eternal.
Alex being one of my best friends and best bass player I know in the whole genre. It's easy, you know, hey man, you want to play on the Hate Eternal record? Yeah, of course I do. He played bass on my demo before I got signed, 10 years ago.
Alex is incredible. I just heard a record that he just did with Ron Jarzenbeck called Blotted Science, which is insane.
Ronnie Jarzenbeck's one of the best guitarists in the world, so Alex being involved in that is really cool. It's got to be really exciting for him.
He is one of my favorite guitar players, and I've admired his music for a long, long time. He's just one of the most technically advanced, amazing, genius players out there. And when he got in touch with me, I was like, okay, he wants me to do something with him. It looks like I'm gonna drop everything else except what I'm doing with Cannibal, and I'm just gonna work on this.
That's like some super technical, like jazzy kind of metal stuff, which is really intricate stuff.
It's an accumulation of all kinds of styles, really.
And then the bass players that played with Ron before were some of my favorite bass players. I was like, man, you know, does he think I'm as good as those other guys? Because I don't think I am. I was like, how am I gonna do this?
When I was talking to him about the Blotted Science thing, which is like really like over the top, like twisted stuff, but it's good. And he was saying how he recorded it in his room into the computer, and he was like, man, some of those parts were like, oh, I don't know if I could do it. And I'm like, right, he could probably do that with his feet, you know what I'm saying?
That music's never gonna be easy either. That's one thing I learned, because we're relearning some of the songs to possibly play live shows, and I've just been working on it, and it's like, it was hard when I recorded it, and even though I know how to play it, it's still hard. You know, I don't think there's ever gonna be some point where I'm like, oh yeah, this is butter. You know, it's always gonna make me sweat to play that stuff.